Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. So this is part 5 of Redux Toolkit video series. So now our main focus is on update operation. Okay, so let's create a new component. Okay, page level component. So inside of the pages, let me create a new component like edit car.js. Okay, so constant edit car arrow function and for now return imaginary tags. Okay, and export the component. So now let's configure the route for this edit car component. We know in app component we are registering our routes, so add one more route. Okay, and path I will define like edit hyphen car. Okay, but here for this path I want the dynamic value in the URL. What the dynamic value means, nothing but our item ID. So why we want to add a dynamic ID means whenever we land into our edit component page, we should get the item to edit, right? So for that we are going to depend upon the ID value in the URL. So for that we have to define the dynamic route. So to define a dynamic route placeholder, you have to write like colon ID. So ID is the dynamic placeholder. Okay. And we know we need to configure element. So that is edit car component. Okay. So that's our routing. Now let's go to our car slice JS and let's implement our edit API chunk middleware. Okay. So go to carslice.js. So here already we implemented two Redux chunk middlewares, right? One for fetching and one for creating new item. Same way we are going to create a one for the update. Okay. So let's implement it. Export const update car API is my chunk name. Okay. And here I will name like cars slash update API. Okay. And it will be a asynchronous call. It's almost look like our create chunk middleware. Okay. So constant API response. Okay. Await Axios. Since it is an update, right? So we have to use the put HTTP put request. Okay. So now to frame a put request, we can go to our JSON server documentation. So here is the JSON server GitHub link. And if you go to the documentation for routes, here you can see for put request, your route slash ID value, okay, and the payload. So here what I will do, I am going to use backticks because my URL should contain a dynamic value, which is nothing but ID, right? So I will use backticks and copy this entire URL, okay, slash, here I want the dynamic value. So to add the dynamic value, we can use dollar and open the brackets. So what I will do, payload.id I will send as in the route, and next second parameter is my payload to update the data. Okay, and we simply return the API response. Okay, and we know that chunk middleware performs three kind of states like pending, reject, and fulfill. So let's add them in our extra reducer action method. Okay, so first let's add for builder for pending status. Okay, so update car API dot pending. Okay, I can define state. Okay, action. So what I want to do, this is a pending state, right? So just copy this line of code. Okay, and one more builder case. update API dot fulfill. Okay, that means update is success. So state comma action. Okay, here we have to implement our logic. Let's copy this line. Once success, make the loading state idle. Now from the car state, okay, first we have to remove the existing data from the store. Okay, so state dot car data dot filter. Okay, I'm filtering id not equal to action dot payload dot id. Okay, so I'm removing the existing data. And finally state dot car data dot unshift and action dot payload. Okay, so and again pushing the updated data into my store. Okay, so that is our extra reducer. So now let's go to edit car JS, and here we already implemented add car JS form, right? So most of the logic I can copy it from there. So to save some time, let's go to our add car JS component. Okay, first let's focus on the HTML content. So copy the entire HTML content. Okay, and add it here. Okay, and also copy all the namespaces. Almost we are going to use everything here. Okay, okay, namespace is imported, and let's try to change anything if you want to change. Okay, I can leave the field names, control names as it is like that. So for registering these names, we have a form, right? So let me copy the form. So where is that form? This is the form. Okay. So from the add component, I need API status, I need dispatch method, I need navigate. Okay, I need use form also. Okay, let me copy the entire code. So JavaScript logic also I'm copying from the add component. From here, I am going to modify them. So I need API status and dispatch. Okay, I need navigate method. That is fine. So here, let me change it to update car form. Okay, this method update car form. So register this method to our handler submit. Okay, so it will read form data. That is fine. But now for update, we have to pass ID also. So ID we have to, for now let's assign 0. We have to read it from URL, right? So let's implement that logic. So for that constant ID, I can use param. Okay, so this will automatically fetches the dynamic route value, but this variable should match with our dynamic placeholder. Okay, then only it can read and assign it to this variable. Okay, now I got ID as well, so I can assign that ID here directly. Okay, so that is fine. And the next thing, this is okay, and I have to call now update car API. Okay, so change it to update car action, nothing but our thunk middleware. Once update, I want to navigate it to, that is also fine. Okay, change the form heading update a car. So here in the button, I can do like updating if the status is pending. If not pending, update. Okay. Okay, I think those are the required changes, but I have to populate the default form data, right? That means I need to get a particular piece of data from my store. That means here we don't have only have two selectors, either to get all the data or to get the loading status, right? So now I want to get the particular data, okay, particular ID related car data here. So for that, let me create a new getter, sorry, new selector. So constant get car by ID. Okay. So this is default arrow function. Okay. Ultimately, our selector should return a arrow function. So we cannot pass ID value directly. So for that, what I will do, I will create a one arrow function, okay, that internally returns the state, okay, state, because I cannot pass ID like this, okay. That is why we are doing a reverse process. We are creating a arrow function. That arrow function returns the state arrow function, okay. So now here what I can do, here I can write my filter. So state dot car dot car data, okay, dot filter. So in this filter dot id equal to id, input id, this id value, okay, and filter returns array, right? So I can use first first element, okay. So now I can invoke this selector here. It should be invoked after this use param because we need id value, right, to input this selector. Here you can see id value, right? So after the use params, let's invoke it. Now constant item to edit, okay, equal to use selector and pass the get car by id, and here id by default read as a string, so we have to convert it to number and id, okay. Here also convert it as number, okay. Now here we got item to id, right? So I can assign that data to my default value so that form gets populated. So item to edit dot name, okay, item to edit dot year, and item to edit dot image URL. Okay. So I have implemented logic for populating my form also with the item to edit. Think that is our logic, and we have to add the edit button on the each item in the all cars component. So go to all cars component, okay. So where I have to create here, I can add the button so that on each item my edit button will be displayed. Okay, let me define the button inside of the card body, okay. So what I will do, I will copy this button, okay, add it here, and it dark only, but the route will be edit, right, edit car. But here it should have the ID value, right? So instead of double quotes, let's use here backticks and pass our data and dollar and flower brackets and car.id. So that will navigate to the our edit component. So let's test it. And let me change the label to edit. It's showing add. Okay. Yeah, now good, right? So what I will do for this demo, I want to edit the model year to 2020. Okay. So click on the edit. So let's check the network calls and the Redux also. Okay. Here you can see the get API actions. Okay. Now if I click on edit, see my form is automatically populated. Okay. And if now I click on update, I can see the update action methods get invoked. So let me change it to 2020 model. Okay. Now I am clicking on the update. See, now here you can see now my edited item added on the top of the list, and it is 2020. And here you can see update API action method, update fulfilled, and pending action methods are invoked. Okay. If you have any doubt, just refresh the page. Okay, from the server it will be third item. That means it is saved successfully at the server also, right? So that's all about the update operation. Okay. Next, we are going to focus on the delete operation using the Redux toolkit. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this video delivered some useful content to you all. If you like the video, please do support me by subscribing my channel, as well as please don't forget to share and like the video. Soon we are going to meet with new video content. Until then, signing off.